The moment you realize you're caught in a dream, an adventure begins. Put your seatbacks and tray-tables in the upright position to take a trip into their fabric of reality. Join me, Andrew Francis, for Adventures into Reality, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon at Revolution Radio at freedomswitch.com, where information never sleeps.
I think we've had this technology for thousands of years. The old writings of the Indians, and I'm talking about the continent of India, talks about the Brahmanas. The Nazis had the Brahmanas. They call them Foo Fighters. The Bible talks about these ships, the wheels within the wheel, which is the description of the gyroscopic powered UFOs. You call them a UFO. And you have been in touch, and I know you'll get some criticism or some harassment, or they'll try to make fun of anybody that says they've been in contact. But Dr. Stephen Greer, who helped produce the film Sirius, they have a group of people, and they say they can contact extraterrestrials by mental telepathy, by meditating, by going to a certain place, going out in the desert or out in the wilderness, and they can actually have the UFOs appear over them. I've said that the reason they don't want you to know about these UFOs is because they don't want you to know that we could go to the moon for lunch and be back without using a drop of gasoline. And there's an Iranian scientist. Now, this is probably the reason we were going after Iran, not because they've got trying to build a nuclear power plant, but because they have an Iranian scientist that can pull a drone out of the sky that had built a Vimana, a UFO, and has that power source. I mean, if there is possibly a danger from nuclear bombs, but it ain't from Iran. It's from that criminal country called Israel, that the Rothschild colony, the safe country they set up for criminals like Mark Rich, who President Clinton pardoned, and he's hiding out in that safe country, Israel. The same people that founded our Federal Reserve here and murdered the Tsar in Russia, because those were two countries that didn't want to go along with the first plan for one world government, which was the League of Nations. Now, you have said that these extraterrestrials, and they may not necessarily be extraterrestrials, they may have originated on this planet and then got the technology and gone out and colonized space. I mean, I've got a little bit different take on the ancient astronauts, the aliens that built the pyramids all over the world. They had a global civilization, and they're just uncovering part of that civilization that's been around for 150,000 years near the gold mines in Africa. Now, there are people that say they talk to God, and I believe that. I can believe that. But I can also believe that you can talk to extraterrestrials. You can talk to people in the global civilization, or the galactic civilization as well. We've had people, first of all, I know that the alien that survived Roswell was escorted to Truman's office by Colonel Loy Conrad, who ended up being one of my father-in-laws. And I pulled down a statement by the woman they used to communicate telepathically with this alien. And she doesn't know exactly what the truth was, but she was able to communicate with this little gray. And we still don't know exactly the role that he played because he was a little evasive. You say you have been in touch with him. I'd like for you to tell me about that and tell our audience about that, because I think that that could be part of our answer. They could be the ones to give us this technology, and probably actually have. I believe our government has the ability to build these ships, and that some of those ships flying around up there in the air, just a glowing light to you down here. I believe those are, some of them are controlled by us, and the movie Men in Black wasn't that far off, and we know that a lot of these statements of people that have been in contact with aliens. Matter of fact, we had, this could be what we called once upon a time angels, demons, or gods. They walked the earth. They were people just like us. Go ahead, David. Tell me about it.
They are. They're a lot like us, at least a large majority of the planet. And I understand there's over 200 planets with life on them right now. And half of them are ahead of us in evolutionary experience, and they've all reached that peaceful state. And many of them are now part of what's known as the Galactic Federation of Planets. That's not the Confederation of Galactic Light, which I've seen on the internet. That's the dark forces trying to win people over to their side. But this group is known as the Galactic Federation of Planets. About 20 years ago, they came down to my residence in Venice Beach, where you stayed that one weekend with me. And one of their members took a surf lesson from myself and my partner. We rented surfboards out in the front yard and gave surf lessons. So I've met them, I've shaken hands with them, and I've spoken to them several times since over the last 20 years. So they're here, and they're in force, and they're waiting for this next election, so to speak, to see exactly what the outcome will be. But if we take this next election by a landslide, which I think we will, they are going to implode the artificial moon above, which was brought in 12,500 years ago by a reptilian race, and put the planet we're on at a 10-degree tilt, and caused all kinds of problems since then. Men and women have been arguing and fighting and scrapping about everything under the sun, and it's just upset the entire existence we all try to live in and get along harmoniously. So when they implode the moon, they're going to bring in a star base, which has a reflective dish on one side of it to imitate the moon at night. But that's where we will fly out our starships from and dock them when we come home. But we will be offered allegiance with the Galactic Federation, and this Earth will become a new member on the Galactic Board of Consulars. We'll be allowed one seat there to represent this planet. But this is actually creating the new world order that we've all been waiting for and all been hoping for and all been wishing for all along. The old world order, like I said before, is the money changers that were from the temple in the old days. Nowadays it's the Rothschild family bankers is what they're called. Their actual name is Bauer. They just changed it to Rothschild and adopted the double-headed eagle for their symbol. But that's the old world order, and they're going out real soon. But when we join this Galactic Federation of Planets, this will give us the opportunity, the first opportunity, to explore the galaxies and to get ourselves off the planet Earth for the first time. Now, like I said before, there's many, many planets out there that have human life on them, and they're above us in evolution, but we'll catch up real quick because they'll be sharing their education with us, and we just need to make this big leap in time and space so we can have Star Trek really happening here one of these days soon. And I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to tell you the truth. I'm kind of sick and tired of this whole system that we're living under. It's really, really getting to be a pain in the butt, if you know what I mean.
Now, this Galactic Federation, we've got good and evil. The reptilians are possibly the bad guys. And again, they don't necessarily need to be from outer space. This planet was controlled or occupied by reptilians thousands of years ago. I don't necessarily believe they were millions of years ago, because right up here in Glen Rose, Texas, you've got human footprints right beside dinosaur prints. So the time limits on that, and we've got drawings of dinosaurs on cave walls a long time ago. I mean, people, so these, there wasn't, we didn't have an internet back then, so these people painted these pictures and drew these pictures of the dinosaurs and the dragons, too. And that's worldwide. That's worldwide. So maybe David Icke is right about this reptilian thing.
Yes.
What did you now? How do you know when you met somebody? They said they were from the Galactic Federation. We've got a lot of these idiot trolls on here to trying to dissuade anything that we say, trying to do that. And so how do we know that this wasn't just some human bullshitting you? How do we know about that?
Well, in the last 20 years, even longer than that, I've had various different experiences with sightings and craft and whatnot. But like I say, when they stopped down and took that surf lesson from us 20 years ago, they started to fill me in on exactly what was going on. And there's a 6-layer base near Gulf of New Mexico at the deep underground military base is what it's called. It has the 2 shovels taking passengers to and from it. But that is where all of our children are being taken nowadays. The 3 to 10 or 12 girls that are being kidnapped right off the street, being taken there. And what they do with them is they hook them up to drainage machines that tap out their hormonal extract from their adrenal glands, and then they mix it with chemicals to feed their gray population there. They're raising up their young, and they're all addicted to our hormonal secretions, like I said. And that's where they're kidnapping our children and taking them at the moment. So that's part of the problem that I see as needs some immediate healing. But besides that, the moon above was brought in 12,500 years ago, as I mentioned previously in the conversation, and that will be imploded as well and gotten rid of around 2015. So both of these problems are very, very large in size, and the comprehension of them is a bit overwhelming at first. I really didn't believe this information that I received about 10, 12 years ago concerning the deep underground military base in the Gulf. But then I checked it, I cross-checked it with different people that I knew, and they verified it and gave me drawings, mimeograph reports that I got from one friend of mine that read just like a government FBI report, several pages with a mimeographed picture of the underground base and whatnot. So this is what's going on, and it's all very, very true. I got to know Laura Magdalene Eisenhower over Facebook, and she's been sending me bunches of information, and I shared with her my molecular southbound electron field concept, and I kind of blew her away when I shared it with her. But the people that know are coming out and speaking quite openly about these different subjects, and I'm not the only one, and you're not the only one. There's a lot of people out there that are, like I say, in the know now, and they're sharing the information that each of them has with the general populace on Facebook and on these blog talk radio programs. And pretty soon it's going to be like, well, people like A Moron and Rabbi Ted and those idiots, nobody's going to listen to them. They just make a lot of noise and they type a baloney on the chat board, but they don't say anything to anybody. So this is all good information, and it's all coming out now, and I think now's the time and place, and all the ears start to open up to it. What do you think?
Well, I think it's about communication. I think we have to communicate with each other, and that's why I was distracted here. They're Nighthawk and Hans are telling me, why do you let this guy get to you? And it's just about, your Nighthawk has it absolutely right. It's about abating and distraction. So that's what they do, and that's what they've done in person. I've been in 2 or 3 states and been to meetings here where we were trying to get something done. We were trying to get the truth out. Truth seekers here, and the Tucson Breakfast Club in Arizona, and the Wake Up America in New Mexico. And we did get things done. Then we did get, we did make things happen. We did bring in people like Mark Kornke in New Mexico. We actually made progress, but there was always 1 or 2 idiots sitting over in the corner going, well, I misspelled a word. I did this, I did that, I did this. And this is a distraction, but these aren't really stupid people or morons. These are pretty well trained, possibly paid people. Because Gordon Duff, Veterans Today editor, said that the Mossad they were employing thousands of people, and they bragged about it. They've bragged about, well, yeah, I make $500 a month just to come in this chat room and harass you, and distract you and take you away from the message. You have a good message, and I'm not letting the distractors distract me from your message. You've got a good platform here, probably better than any other so-called presidential candidates out there. Hemp and Hydrogen in 2016. Generate our own energy. Grow our own food. And if you don't want to grow food, let your neighbor may be a better gardener than you.
One of my ideas, and I was hoping this last election would get a little reform the people that I've been sending my book out and my DVDs to the last 5 years. One of them is Oprah Winfrey. She has her own magazine out every month, and anybody that takes a look at it will see she's getting younger and more beautiful, and they're actually getting pretty foxy looking for a woman over 50. She's been doing the South Fun Fluid concept for about 2 years now. I sent her a book and letters and whatnot before she went off to television set. So she's been doing this new technique as well. And there's other people too, like Larry King, who just retired. His hair started to turn brown in the middle, and now it's brown all over the top. I just saw him on Facebook the other day. Other people got this bill. They sent me emails via the YouTube asking me when his hair starts coming back in. So I've got a lot of people out that I've hit with my book, with my videos, and I've informed you the last 2 or so. These are all going to be cards that we're going to be playing in this next election to get the word out and to get the people all knowledgeable about just what's really going on. There's a lot of people, like a lot of music artists like Sheryl Crow, Stevie Nicks, Stevie Wonder. They're all spinning their fluids as well. And even Bill Wallace, I think he's spinning his fluids as well too. I know Steven Seagal is. His hair's turning brown, he's losing weight. There's a lot of people that I've gotten this information too. Even Ringo Starr, George Lucas, I send him 2 books. So there's a lot of famous people out there that I'm going to be calling upon for their support financially, as well as speak on television and ratings with them, and to get the ball rolling, so to speak. You and I have been really the 2 main ones on this past election campaign, and we still are pushing this ticket. But as we get closer and closer now, we're going to see some of these other people come out of the woods and give us their support as well. Like I said, I was hoping Oprah would give me a little time on her program and whatnot, but she chose not to, and that's fine. We'll play it, and timing just wasn't right. Yeah, it's going to be right another year from now.
And by the way, this Galactic Federation of Light.info, that works. They're a little outdated, 2011 here. And they keep saying it'll be a magical year of 2012. I said I think 2012 might have been the end of the world for the banksters, but unfortunately that didn't happen either. And
but that's, if you figure on the Gregorian calendar, it might be 2012, but the Gregorian calendar has nothing to do with the Mayan calendar, so it's really not 2013 this year. It's somewhere close perhaps, but it's not exactly. It's just such an arbitrary number. And in fact, everything's pretty arbitrary at the moment. Nobody really knows what year it is. Ancient Jewish calendar has put us in the tens of thousands of years. But, I'm concerned with what day of the week it is. Today is actually Sunday on the lunar clock. It's not Tuesday. And I just celebrated my Sabbath from Sunday night to Monday night this year. That's when the actual Sabbath is. The Jewish faith, they go back to the Gregorian Saturday to celebrate the Sabbath, which is incorrect. And they do Passover 24 hours late on the waning moon. And it's been that way ever since 625 BC, when an apostate group got into the temple and changed the day of worship from the full moon night to the waning moon night. So nobody really knows what they're talking about, and nobody really knows what's going on at the moment. But if we get the presidency this next time, everybody's going to know, and we're going to set the clock right and the day count right on the money too.
All right, Hans is putting our numbers up, and I think the reason you couldn't get in when you called the other day is the 855-655-8453 that rings into Hans. And but you can call in on 347-688-2902, and you can call in. Even the idiots can call in. I won't talk to them long, but if you've got honest questions, if you've got honest opinions, I would certainly listen to them and talk to you.
Yeah, I'd love to answer any questions anybody has for myself about this next presidential election, because I've been working on it for quite some time and doing my homework, and I'm all ready to go. So like I said, anyone's got any questions, feel free to call in and pose a question. And take it here.
And this is why I call them idiots. You can't spoil my day. I'm going to have a great day. I'm having a great day. I'm enjoying my guest. I'm enjoying my friend, David. And I appreciate what you are doing. I appreciate what you're saying. You know, there is no reason not to believe that we are in a federation. I've said for years, 45 minutes. Matter of fact, I wrote about this galactic federation as being an Atlantean-based federation a long time ago, David, probably over 45 years ago. I wrote about that, and here's what I said. Let me just bring this up here. It's and by the way, the links to David's book, you should read that. You can get that. You can order it right online. It's on Amazon too. Again, this is David is a real person. I've met him, smoked a doob with him, and be glad to do that again. But I wrote this in my fiction book. I wrote as science fiction 45 years ago. Started out as a short story. Thousands of years ago, the Earth was a different place. A race existed like no other. Theirs was a technology ahead of the levels we know of today, far ahead of the levels we know of today. They faced a disaster similar to that which killed the dinosaurs. They sent their people out into space. Only a few brave souls stayed to help the less advanced inhabitants of the planet rebuild. They were genetically advanced men, almost immortal, incredibly powerful, telepathic, and able to manipulate matter with their minds. They were known as gods, angels, and warriors, and demons. Among the survivor of our planet's close encounter with a galactic intruder. The legends and names of these beings are scattered throughout our history. Their power grew all-pervasive and hidden throughout modern times. Humanity was divided, controlled, and conquered by unseen hands. Today, the balance of power shifted into the hands of the most feared being in history. Meet Lucifer. And, you know, this story is coinciding right now. Everything that I've said, you know, that burning bushes are passe. So in the 21st century, God talks to us through the internet. And it's happened over and over again that when I can have a question in my mind and somebody will send me an email that leads me to a website. We've got I used to talk about the Akashic Records 45 years ago. The Akashic Records is the mind of God, access to all the information, and that is reflected in the internet. So you can ask a question in your mind and open up your email, and there will be an email there. There will be somebody trying to communicate with you there that is the answer to everything that you question. Now, I just saw somebody's got a book out called Conversation with an Immortal, and he's talking to somebody that's thousands of years old. And David, I felt like I've asked myself, was this what I wrote about happening 10,000 years ago? Was that my imagination, or was that my memory?
That's your memory, but that's also what's going on right now today, Creighton. I'd like to tell the listeners out there that all those Star Wars movies that George Lucas produced, that's actually going on somewhere in the galaxy. There's those wars going on right now today, and they're flying ships just like those, and people look just like us. And that's where we're all going to be in another 10, 20 years. We're going to be fighting alongside of them. But this has always been going on. Even Gene Roddenberry in the 1960s released Star Trek. If anybody out there is a big Star Trek fan like I am, and that was in the 1960s. But 50 years ago or more. But all these adventures and battles have been going on for all the time out there. We've just been relegated to this planet, and it's been kind of a lonely war down here, good against bad. But at the moment, those cons or demons have all been driven down to this planet that we're on, and very soon, in the next couple of years, they're going to all be tossed right into that big lake of fire that's now open for any and all that want to get thrown in early. I'd like to tell all the listeners out there, if you're sitting there by yourself at any time of the night or day, and you hear a little voice in your head that sounds like you, and it's saying, do this bad thing, or do this wrong thing, just ask your guardian angel to kindly remove that arcane and devil and toss him in the lake of fire, and you won't hear any more bad comments for a little bit until another one of them steps up to the plate and tries to convince you to do something wrong. But just do the same thing then. Just ask your guardian angel to throw him in the lake of fire, because, as I said, it's now open and ready to do business. So that's how you get rid of these bad ideas in your head, or bad impressions that you may be getting from you're aware. But these are the demons that have all been driven down to this planet with us at the moment. And that's part of the problem why Congress and Senate and our White House has gone so diametrically against us, and everything seems to be going wrong in this country now because those Archon demons have taken control of our voted in and presidential candidates. So this is what we need to become aware of. And like I said, in 2016, myself and hopefully Jesse Ventura, I hand-delivered a book to his publisher about 3-4 years ago. And so he's been south spinning his fluids ever since then. And he's getting healthier and younger as it goes. So hopefully he'll be coming on board as my vice presidential candidate. And like I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to sweep it with a landslide this next election.
All right, I've got a request from one of our hosts here, a Mad Painter, to have you on, to get you on his show. So I'll give him your phone number there. I don't normally do that, but since he's on freedomslips.com, I'll give him the number, and appreciate that. And of course, we've got the idiot down here, the maroon idiot. Can't get it. Oh, nothing works. Oh, nothing works. I mean, myself just doesn't know how to dial a phone. Oh my God. This is our
Hey, we have a call. Area code 151. You're on the air.
Hello. Who do we have? What's your name? Try a real name. Yes, sir.
Well, what evidence do you have I own such a thing as a name?
I beg your pardon?
What evidence do you have I own such a thing as a name? Are you asking what I'm called?
Yeah, I'm asking your name, sir. What is your name? Mine's Clay. This is David you're talking to. Give me a name, please.
If you'd be kind enough to call me Big Bird, I'll be glad to answer.
No, I won't call you that. What do you want?
Oh, how about...
Do you have a question?
You've been calling me idiot.
Oh, you are the idiot. You are the idiot. Yeah, idiot will be fine. I'll call you idiot because that's what you are. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, thanks, brother.
Go ahead. What do you got? Where are you calling from? Where do you reside, idiot?
Well, I believe this idiot lives in a body. Does that help you?
No.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you, we're talking common sense today, and if you got any common sense questions, it'd be nice to hear.
I'm speaking common sense. What do you live in?
Well, like I said, if you got a question or a comment, make it.
I just did ask a question. Did I? What do you live in?
That isn't a legitimate question, sir. We're taking.
Can I ask you guys something? If you would, David, idiot, please. Can I ask you guys something? How is all this finger pointing and all this, anger, how's this going to help the situation on this so-called rock we're all spinning on?
Well, I'll tell you what it's going to do. It's going to remake it real shortly. And it's going to make it spin the other direction, too. But I know it's a little bit maybe out of the ballpark for some of your considerations, but that's what's going to happen, because actually this planet is past the center of the Milky Way and going out on the other side now, and it's changing, and we're going to have a whole new order here soon. That's just the way it's going to be.
But if you say it's not going to happen, the so-called peace. If you say it's not going to happen, so-called peace, who's the problem?
Do you have any suggestions, Big Bird? I'll use Big Bird as your name. But do you have any suggestions other than asking questions? I mean, we all have questions, but does anybody out there have any answers to everything?
Well, Hans, I wish I knew the answers, but I could make a suggestion, possibly.
Okay. Well, let's start with your suggestions.
Okay, Hans, I'm glad
let's
to.
start the reason.
Well, would it be best for us to realize who is the problem? Could the problem be the so-called self? And once one realizes the self is the problem, maybe now we can start doing something about it.
Well, I agree with you on that. You are the self, and you are a problem, because you can't put together a question. You can't answer a question. That makes you nothing but a ignorant troll. So get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy, Hans, unless you want to talk to him, because I don't have any patience for this kind of feeble. Yeah, maybe Cannon may be right. He's too feeble-minded to be a troll. This is a disruptor. He can't ask a question. He doesn't have any kind of intelligence whatsoever. So.
Well, Clay,
Right.
Big Bird, I'd like to
announce the solution.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I believe if we quit pointing fingers at one another, possibly look in the mirror and realize where we can help, and maybe things will start getting better around here.
What could you do to help? What could you do to help? What do you suggest, otherwise than being a idiot troll on here? What do you have? Give me something intelligent for a change.
Yeah, what do you want to offer?
Well, I'm a firm believer that we all have value points, or that we can make a value point, and that we should all listen to one another, because we learn from one another. That's my firm belief. Nobody's right. Nobody's perfect. I'm not the host. I will have to disconnect you if Clay requests me. I would continue our conversation, but it's Clay's show.
Hey, whatever is best for all involved is fine by me.
Clay, will you reason with this gentleman?
I'm through with this gentleman. He's an idiot. I don't need to talk to idiots. I don't need to waste my time with this. We've got other people out there that have that, and I think that's the people agree on that. So.
Okay, Big Bird, I'd like to have you on a round table one evening. I will contact you via email, and we discuss it later. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Hans. Thanks, Clay. Thanks, David. Love you, brothers.
I ain't your brother. I ain't your brother at all. I'm real particular about people I call my brother, and you certainly aren't one. All right.
What we've got here is another person that thinks it's all about themselves, and this guy may have a lot of troubles in his own head and his own life, but facts are, you and I don't. We've been through all the baloney and we've experienced all the ups and downs, and we're pretty clear on exactly what direction both of us are going. So I sympathize with anybody out there who's still looking in the mirror and trying to figure out what the problems are. But we've seen all the problems, and we're calling the shots right now. And that's what this program's all about today, is we're discussing the different problems and solutions that we can all come to very, very soon. And I like to hear people call in and ask questions, but we don't need to be told to look in the mirror. That's something I did 40 years ago when I was still in high school. I don't need to look in the mirror. We're looking right at the problems now, and we're going to get rid of them. That's the solution.
Yeah, we've got answers. We've got answers. Yeah, tear down that wall. Yeah, abolish all the laws against victimless crimes. Yes, allow our scientists to take to put our knowledge, their knowledge, in our hands to the people. I mean, all we got to do is give it back to the people. You know, so if we want to turn on the switch, let's make it affordable. We don't have to get rich to pass on solar power, to pass on. We had windmills strung across this country over 200 years ago. 200 years ago, we had windmills pumping our water, growing our food. We used that to grow our food, and we even had batteries. So
there's so many answers to so many problems nowadays. For anyone to come on your program and say, look in the mirror and look at yourself and you got the problem, that just sounds like a bunch of baloney to me too. I mean, I'll listen to somebody talk for about 60 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, but unless they ask a question or give a reasonable opinion, that just sounds like a bunch of baloney to me, you know. And so, you know, callers don't have to call in and try to mimic that last one, but we've got answers to problems that come up, as solutions to situations that nobody else seems to have heard of yet, and that's what we're talking about today.
that's right. Now, Heisenberg, you're welcome to call in. You're, you know, I frankly don't care. You know, my ex-wife, and that's why she's an ex-wife, said after I got out of the hospital, well, we just hope that you'd be a kinder, gentler Clay Douglas when you got out of the hospital. And my response to that was that I wouldn't have been Clay Douglas, would I? I wouldn't have been a Clay Douglas. Now, I don't care whether you like me or not. And I don't have a real calm and enduring disposition, because I don't care whether you like me or not. I come here to give you information, to pass on experiences, and to bring you guests that have good information. That's all I do. Okay, yes sir, Hans. What's up?
May we have another caller?
Go ahead.
Area code 171. You on the air?
Great.
Yes sir. Who do we have here? What's your name?
Who's calling?
Area code 718. You're on the air.
Bruce?
I'm just listening.
Oh, you're just listening? Okay, thank you.
All right. Who do
I'd like to say hello. I'd like to say hello to Simply Red 777 out there in listening land. They're a great personality, and I always like to see them in the morning on the chat board.
All right. Is this Heisenberg? What's your name?
No. Clayton, the lady is just listening.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead with your show.
Okay. All right. We got Yeah, I can give you a canon. I can give you some of my poetry from a few thousand years ago. You might call me man, you might call me God, even the devil would get you a nod. I've been called Pan in times long ago. I've also been known as a man called Mose, but names mean so little to the man that knows. All right, David, you're still my guest here, and we will take calls if we've got anybody that's got some just a small bit of intelligence. You don't have you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to have some common sense. I knew maybe two or three people in school, David, that did better on tests than I did, but they had no common sense. They had no common sense. So intelligence, I mean, and I've had a lot of friends, bikers that they may not have done real good on tests, but they could make a Harley run like a top. We all have our skills, and that's the importance of being able to work together. I work, I do computers. I write books. I write short stories. I write poetry. That's what I do. I may
But
not be able to grow a garden worth a darn. So I need somebody around me that knows how to do a garden. I need people around me that have value.
But Clayton, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be teamwork. Team with a T. It's not going to be anybody leading the whole group of people that make up this United States of America. It's going to take teamwork from representatives from every state, from every city, from every county. It's going to take workers within the townships and in the country growing the food. It's going to take teamwork to teach our children the right way to do things. It's going to require teamwork to make everything work. And so the whole idea of any person looking in the mirror and seeing any fault within themselves, that's what everybody can do whenever they want. But it's going to require teamwork, and that's a lot more important than looking at our faults. That's looking at our advantages and how to make things work, rather than looking at what has gone wrong or what anybody's done wrong. I'd like to just tell everybody, hey, forgive yourself for any sins you committed or the wrongdoings you've done, and then roll up your sleeves and let's get to work on fixing this whole country, this whole world back to the shape it should be in.
Yeah, and pointing fingers is not going to get us anywhere.
Right, exactly. I'm looking at the positive side of everything. I don't look at any negatives, even though we're getting real deep into the negatives at the moment. I always look at what can be accomplished rather than what has gone wrong. And like I say, teamwork is the only way a ship can sail, and the only way a football team can win, and the only way we can all survive is through our own teamwork.
Exactly. I hope Clayton has you on again because I would like to join in the next show with Clayton, and I have a few questions I'd like to ask you myself.
All
Sure,
right.
I'm sure.
I will have David back on, and
Great.
we've passed him on to Ahmed Painter, and I will pass that number back on to Dave later. It's or you give David a call yourself after the show, Mad Painter, and you can have him on. And Kaas, uh, David Kaas is a great guest, and a great writer, and I've been spinning my coffee for years, and all I can tell you is I don't get sick. Now, folks, again, the number or the way to help here. This is listener supported radio, Revolution Radio. You need to go there and make a donation. If you want to make a donation to me, do it to clay at freeamerican.com. and we exist on donations. Me and Revolution Radio. We need your support here to keep doing this. We'll keep trying to bring you the best information, the best guests, and if you go to my website, freeamerican.com, I'm sure I do have some links there that work. I'll check them out. Within an hour, all the links will work to the PayPal. And if you send me a donation, you get one of my books of your choice. So Mystery Babylon is what I recommend, 500 pages with the history of the Rothschild, the story of Operation Watchtower, the George Bush's drug dealing operation. And we've got Dr. Rebecca Carley coming up tomorrow. David, thank you for being with me. We're almost out of time here. And
I'd like to thank Clayton again and again and again ever since I've met you several years back. But thank you for letting me come on your show today and tell the folks about my book and about my new spun molecular fluid concept, but also just for letting me hear some of the facts and figures of exactly what's happening.
All right. See you tomorrow, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hello?
Hey, David.
Hey.
I wanted to give you this, a mad painter. He wanted you on his show. His Skype number is 229. Got a pen?
Yeah.
229-299-5320.
All right. I'll give him a call and see if he's serious or not. I'm not going to go on any of these programs just to get ramrodded and promos, but if he wants to ask a legitimate question, that's fine.
All right.
But,
I don't know. I don't listen to anybody else's show, so I'm just passing the information on to you.
Sure. Hey, you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much, Clayton. From my heart, I really mean that for promoting me and giving me the opportunity to just give me a springboard to get going on again.
All right, bud.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
into the water.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
And that did show me how to do that.
Bandit, come on. Like this. 3 fingers and your thumb. Doesn't matter what finger. 3 fingers and your thumb. On either side. 3 fingers and your thumb on one side, just your hand on the other side of your cup. That's it.
Okay. Mad at me, but he's been bad.
All right.
And I got all the trash in it up here.
Okay.
Put it in the coffee grounds, so should take care of everything there. And I did a quick vacuum of the floor, and I'm getting ready to set all this stuff down that can't ride on the counter. Topsy-turvy almost fell over.
All I gotta do is move this table, move this desk right to there.
Right. You turn everything off, though.
Eventually,
And stuff.
yeah.
Okay, let me have your coffee cup and I'll rinse it out if you drink all your coffee.
I'll drink all my coffee.
Okay, let me have this.
Is here?
How old is this stuff? It's never been, some of it's never been opened. Now this one here has been opened,
Okay.
which means it's lost its strength.
Throw that away.
And this one here has been opened. Like that one's been opened too. I don't know, on some of these if they lose their strength. I know multivitamins do, but I don't know about this other stuff.
This might be good. And I don't need that. And I don't know what that is. Throw that away. I don't know what that is. The only thing I'd keep is this. And that magnesium.